Okay, we have a green box. We have a live counter ticking up. Going to assume that means we are live. Which, of course,
Hello there, everybody, and welcome to the
No, no.
Storytime Network, in which we discuss how someone can be made of rubber.
Yo ho ho. Alright.
in actuality,
We
it's
do,
it's the second part of our Devil Fruit tier list.
same difference.
Hmm.
True. But anyways, what did we decide were the exact parameters for Devil Fruits again? For the ranking rather. Because I believe it was a combination of power, versatility, uh create what else did we decide on the factors?
Um,
I know power and versatility were two of the big ones.
I know we had a discussion about whether we should assume that the user, was the perfect user or just an average user. I can't remember what we decided on now.
Yes, I believe we decided to look at both,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like what it does in the hands of an optimal user versus the hands of an average user.
Yeah. I mean, Hancock's fruit is a good example because she's the optimal user of her fruit, but at the same time, an average user would not get nearly as much bang for your buck out of it as she does.
Hmm.
So I think that's why we bumped it down a tier.
Exactly. We also decided on a baseline for Zoans in
Yeah,
which
typical
like
zones and ancient zones are probably going to be high B tier at the lowest. Well, actually,
well,
it
no,
depends.
we basically determined a strict tier ranking, which is complete house pet zones are like in the D tier, regular animals like predators especially are in the C tier, uh, large powerful animals are in the B tier, ancients are A tier, and mythicals are S tier, basically
I
across the
don't
board.
think we did. I don't think we did. I don't think we should stick to it that strictly, but that does seem
It's
like a pretty
worked.
good
It
trend.
like it did
It's a
consistently
pretty
work.
solid. It's a pretty solid trend, but eh.
It's a good starting point, if nothing else. If we,
I don't think we found an exception thus far.
yeah,
Well, Jack's an ancient zone, but he's top of B tier.
it's a fair
Yeah,
point.
I'm wondering. We'll talk about that.
We will go back over and discuss once we finish. We'll have a look at it again. Have a look at it again. And see if there's any we want to move.
Hmm, smart. Anyways, but yeah, so basically, margin for error for users is another factor to take into account for sure.
So, are we gonna get started then?
Yep.
Who'd be this?
Uh, Lafitte from Blackbeard's crew. We actually don't know what his devil fruit is beyond it being a bird-based one that lets him fly. Not a lot of information about it, but I'm comfortable putting it in C tier just because of the flight ability. But we don't know much else about it.
Yeah, hang on. Let me.
We don't know a lot about the Blackbeard pirate devil fruits.
Yeah, he's like interesting because we have no idea. So here's the thing, right? Most zoans don't just show up with wings.
Yeah.
So I have to wonder if the Lafitte's maybe not a Zoan, or if he is, he's something like weird, like maybe a human fruit model angel. That would not surprise me either,
Hmm.
right? Because it's like it's kind of hard to tell.
It is very hard to tell with Lafitte.
I think we need a need more information tier.
Yeah, Lafitte is considered an undetermined class Devil Fruit user because
Yeah,
no one
like we
knows.
don't have enough information. Like he's shown up like twice in story.
And only once have we seen him actually use his Devil Fruits. Yeah, he only showed it once during Impel Down.
Right.
All right, who's this mustache dude?
That is Daddy Masterson from Filler, I think. No, that's not Daddy Masterson, that's someone else. That's a Filler character.
Right. Doggo.
Doggo,
That's
I
new.
believe. Yeah, that isn't he a bazooka who ate the dog model Dachshund?
Yep. And Dachshunds are notoriously fragile.
Yeah, probably in the D tier.
I honestly wouldn't mind putting him in F. Dachshunds are not very good animals for, like...
They're very
Like
good
any
at
kind of-
hunting badgers, though.
They are very, very, very specialized animals, and I don't think they should be any higher than the very bottom of D yet, honestly.
How many badges have you
I
seen
think-
in the One Piece world, Fuzzy?
I think you put it in D tier just for the hybrid potential. Like, the hybrid at least will give you stat buffs. Right? Even the weakest zone does give you stat buffs when you're in the hybrid mode.
Mm-hmm.
So we put it in D tier on the basis of that alone.
Mm-hmm.
Trafalgar D. Waterlaw.
S tier.
Hmm.
The
I
Omni
say,
is
okay,
ridiculously
no.
overpowered.
Okay, my argument is top of A tier because, unlike most other fruits, his has an actual, like, cost associated with it.
Yeah, but you've seen his awakening, right?
That's true, but this is one of the few devil fruits where if you use it too much, you just die. Even outside of the immortality operation.
I still think it's an S tier Devil Fruit just because of how versatile.
Low
and
S tier,
powerful it
then,
is.
yeah.
I would argue there's also a certain skill barrier as well.
That is true. It's probably a lot less useful if you're not an actual medical doctor.
That is true, but we've seen Law demonstrate like the potential of the fruit, and it is ridiculously powerful
Mm.
when in the right hands.
Bottom of S tier, I'd say.
Yeah,
Because,
that's
like,
fair.
unlike the other S tier fruits, it has, like, a clear downside.
Yeah.
Still a very good fruit, though. And, you know,
Extremely good.
another one that's probably with its perfect user.
Yeah.
Another Tontada.
Yep.
Isn't this just Leo? Look,
That's Leo,
I'm...
yes.
Okay,
Leo's
good.
Devil Fruit is actually pretty damn.
It is good, isn't it? It's also, like, it has some very frightening body horror potential.
Yeah. He can literally stitch stuff together.
I would say he's probably in, like, high B, low A tier.
I'd say high B. I'd put him below Bonnie, though.
Yeah, time manipulation is definitely not something to sneeze at.
Yeah, I'd put him probably below Bonnie. I don't know if I would put him any lower than that, because his ability to stitch stuff together is very, very useful and versatile. It kind of falls short of Doflamingo's string abilities, but
You know what it's most similar to? Inazuma.
oh yeah,
They have similar, like, Inazuma can cut things and Leo can stitch them back together.
yeah, but Inazuma's ability is a little less versatile than
Yes,
Then
that's why he's higher up than Inazuma.
Yep. I think the next one's a filler character. 'Cause I
Is
don't recognize her.
she
You
might be
recognize her?
one of She might be one of the many Charlotte children.
Well, we'll put her in filler for now, and we'll do a count up of
I'll
the
just
filler
consult.
characters at the
Yeah,
end.
keep her there, and I'll consult Google.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Linlin
Linlin.
Charlotte.
Okay, we're gonna have a discussion about this character, but let me just look up the Charlotte Pirates real quick and see if that is in fact one of the kids.
Like, say what you want about her character, but her Delphord ability is ridiculously jacked. It's honestly hard to be an emperor without a high A tier fruit, at the very worst.
And yet, Shanks.
Shanks
is the exception that proves the rule, though.
Like, well, no, it's like it's quite established that you either need an obscene fruit or
ungodly hockey skills.
Yes. So, like,
and most emperors have some combination thereof. Shanks is the only one who does it with just pure hockey, which is impressive.
And yet he lost it.
But he's not. To be fair, he's not the first, right? Garp and Roger really set that standard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yet,
but S tier, obviously. The question is where in S tier, because I don't think you can like put her in anything lower than S tier.
No,
and
not.
Here's my reasoning for that. She does have a restriction, right? Like, the fruit does have a restriction. You can only take people's lifespan in soul chunks if they're afraid of you.
There is one other restriction that we saw in her most recent fight, that her power is voice activated.
Yeah.
So she needs to be able to actually communicate to take people's souls.
That's a very good point. I had forgotten about that. But
it's kind of hard to cut off Big Mom.
No, beyond that, it's an S tier fruit even if you can never take other people's souls, just on the sheer basis of its versatility when you use pieces of your own soul.
Yeah, exactly.
And, like, we have... Yes, go on.
I mean, all of Big Mom's personal homies have been ridiculously powerful.
Though it is one of those things where it's an ideal user situation, because I believe their power is directly proportional to the user's power.
I mean, that still means that it's at the worst case scenario, Magikarp power style situation where we can get ridiculously strong and utilize the bonus of the Soul fruit.
Have you noticed both Big Mom and Caramel were very prolific in using their own souls, but it didn't seem to really have any major downsides to them.
Yeah.
Whether it's lifespan, because like they both lived to old age, right? Caramel probably had a lot more life in her before, she was eaten by Big Mom. And Big Mom is like still very, very strong despite being in her late 60s. So I don't think it has like any major downsides associated. Maybe if you like overuse it to hell and back, but it seems like one of those fruits where rather than going wide, you go deep. Right? Instead of having a lot of...
I mean, Big Mom went wide and deep with power usage, given the army of homies.
But, like, I'm specifically referring to using one's own soul.
Oh, yeah, no. She only needed a handful of homies made from her personal being.
I would say she's, like, about on the level of Kaido.
I'd put her above Kaido just because of the versatility of the fruit.
I think, yeah, she's much more versatile than Kaido.
So here's a question. The homies ability. I'm just looking at it on the wiki. It does say the homie will possess the memories of the person the soul belonged to.
Yeah. At least to some extent.
if that is the case,
Also very good for information gathering. Yeah.
well, I was more talking about it in negative context. Because are the homies like compelled to obey Big Mom?
They are, and like Zeus is like kind of an exception.
Yeah, because Zeus is made from Big Mom's soul.
Yeah, so it
Any
is
homie made from a
possible.
soul other than Big Mom's is going to be compelled to follow her orders.
And if you think about it, Zeus defecting is actually based on a characteristic of Big Mom's soul, which is gluttony.
Yep.
Zeus defected because of a character flaw in Big Mom. So basically, if even when homies made of your own soul, they are basically compelled to follow. In fact, it's strongly implied that Big Mom just chose to like yeet Zeus. Because like she was able to compel him back to control, right? Easily enough, but like she just got tired of him being wishy-washy and yeeted him in favor of Hera.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and also don't forget her most recent fight. She just demonstrated the ability to use her ability to heal herself. She stitched together a fucking broken bone in her arm.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I would definitely put it above Kaido. I think that's our tentative position. We can like fine tune it later, but like S tier above Kaido.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Though this is another one of those skill ceiling fruits, right? Where you do need to learn how to use it, but that's I don't think we've.
And
I think
you
at
also
this
have to
point,
be a certain type of person, because let's be real, the average person is not gonna instill a lot of fear.
Yeah.
well, it's kind of like it's almost it can form a virtuous cycle because the baseline powers can make you scary enough that it enables the other powers.
Yeah. If you're riding in on a giant flaming sun, then you're gonna terrify the shit out of people.
And that's something any user of the fruit can do.
Mm.
So it does form a bit of a virtuous cycle.
Mm-hmm. Next is Rob Lucci.
I mean, it's like wherever we put Jabra is where we put Lucci, really.
What was he, a panther or
I
a
think we should-
jaguar?
Is it a
leopard.
leopard? Leopard, yeah.
I'd put Lucci above Jabra, if only because leopards are bigger than wolves.
Are they bigger?
Yes, they are. Wolves are, if I recall correctly, wolves are about
Right, no, I was yeah, because like
average out like 5 feet or so.
yeah, so just put them one above Jabra, so in the B tier.
Jabra could never beat Lucci. Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, wolves are not really known for their solo combat skills, are they?
No, they're pack hunters.
Yeah.
Are we really putting the giraffe above wolves and leopards?
Because giraffes can frick you up.
Have you seen a giraffe kick a lion?
They can whip you with their neck. Oh god, he's made of rubber. How did that happen?
Yo ho ho.
Apparently,
well, no, it
apparently
turns out it's
destiny.
much more complicated. It's a much more. This is going to be our discussion. So
let's put this at the end because I want to say this.
Yeah, we need to kind of save it for last. Actually, I'm almost tempted to put it in need more info.
No.
But yeah, okay. Who dis?
Bachweiss. Get a ton fruit.
Ah, right, okay. Huh. So here is the thing, right? In the context of a regular ass universe, this is busted.
Mm-hmm. What's his limit?
In
like
the
10,000 tons?
10,000 tons. In the context of the One Piece universe, where people can just bench that amount, its utility is more limited, I feel.
I mean, literally, his only utility is increasing his weight and body slamming people. That's his only move. Like, he just does it
Yeah.
over and over until he gets yeeted into the bird cage by Hajrudin.
And funnily enough, and this is just very ironic, Hajrudin, despite being a giant, is not even the physically strongest person in that arc.
No, that'd probably be Luffy or Zoro.
Yeah. Luffy
Maybe
did one-shot him.
Elizabeth.
Yeah. Elizabeth is a special case. He's a charge character.
Yes.
So I would put him low B tier.
Yeah.
I like at the bottom of B tier, honestly, because he doesn't even have as much utility as like Inazuma does.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I believe this is a filler character.
Hmm.
Next up,
I'm
though,
just
is
gonna.
Jelen.
Oh God. Okay, poison.
This guy's hacks.
Yeah. Though I will say this does seem to be at least somewhat a more, how do you say, skill-based fruit, because from what we've seen, the poison's development is not automatic.
Hmm.
Like, you have your baseline level of poison, but it does seem like you need to make the poison like make other poisons by yourself. Like if you want to improve the poisons, you need to kind of do it on your own.
Mm-hmm.
I don't recall that ever being the case, or being explained as the case.
Well, no, it's that he says he develops poisons.
Eh,
Is what I mean.
I'm gonna look that up real quick.
Yeah, I was just about to do the same. Poison
So
fruit.
the only weaknesses that are really listed, besides standard ones, are the user. While their user is immune to poison and all of its negative effects, which is a pretty good passive ability, they can't process the poison. So that's why Magellan is always cooped up in the bathroom.
Well, no, he's cooped up in the bathroom because he eats poison.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but he doesn't have to eat the poison. He
No,
just chooses
exactly.
to.
Exactly. Yeah. Also, fire can neutralize some of the more liquid poisons, and some materials like Mr. Three's wax are resistant to most of the poisons. Also, there's a risk of collateral damage if you use too much poison around allies.
Mm.
Low S tier, definitely.
Yeah, low S tier. Not a lot of actual downsides to this one. It's a very powerful fruit, especially
No,
in the
but
right hand.
there isn't much versatility to it, is there? All you can really do with
Mm.
poison is attack.
Well, no, you can like use it for
Yourself.
transport and stuff. Like it has like it is offensive, yes, but it's not. It's got like mobility and defensive uses as well. So it's like in
It
terms
doesn't
of
have
battle
the-
utility, it does have decent utility in battle. It has no outside battle utility, but in battle it has decent utility.
I mean, almost all of the S tier fruits have additional utility besides battle.
Mm.
The only real exception to that one is maybe Kaido. No, that not even that case holds.
Kaido's got like low tier telekinesis, so no.
Not just telekinesis; he can also just fly.
Yes, that is a factor.
I'd definitely
So, yeah,
say
all
I'd
of the
definitely
S
say
tier
A
fruits
tier,
have-
but I don't think
Yeah.
it's got enough utility to be S tier.
I'd say A
High
tier.
S tier, high A tier, then yeah.
I put him below Ivankov actually because
Mm.
Ivankov has like the most versatile fruit in the A tier. I think. Even I put them like right next to Ivankov because they're basically like counterexamples to each other. Magellan's almost all combat utility, and Ivankov's almost all versatility outside of combat. Kind of like mirrors of each other, you know?
Mm-hmm.
No wonder they both debuted in Impel Down.
Another Tontata.
Bon Cherie.
Oh yeah. Okay. I have a very interesting question about this fruit.
Mhm.
Does she need consent to extract heal orbs?
No. I think so, but
'Cause-
I'm not entirely sure.
No, because so far she asks for consent. If she doesn't need consent, then it's just broken. Because you can literally drain people's life force. It's still probably one of the highest pure utility fruits. Like in terms of pure utility, it is on the level of Ivankov.
I wouldn't
Probably.
go that far, but it is still a very useful ability.
It's definitely in the A tier. Yeah, it's like pure white mage, and if you don't need consent for the lifesteal factor.
As a matter of fact, you do not, because Giola used her ability to forcibly heal some goons. There is one issue, though. The main weakness of the fruit is that it does take away from the users. I believe it's either stamina or life. And
I think it's just stamina, because like they're not afraid of her using it. She just gets tired. It does use her stamina, but she can use other people's lifespan.
true. Also, her power has to make direct contact to work.
That's an issue for Moncherie, but it's not really an issue for an average individual.
Hmm.
Right? Like,
Of
this
course,
is one of those fruits that I feel like...
putting in A tier, but I do think top of B tier is preferred.
I would say it's definitely, like, better than Foxy's fruit, for example.
Yeah, but that's not hard.
It's still A tier.
Why did we put it in A tier?
Because, like, it has very, very strong utility.
I think we overrated Foxy's power.
I still think a pure white mage is A tier. Just regardless of anything else.
I mean,
There's like...
counterpoint.
Here's the thing. In One Piece, right, there's no real healers. There's doctors, but there's no straight-up healers. People have to either rely on their own natural healing factors or, like, medical science. There's no magic...
examples of characters who either directly or indirectly heal people. We got Ivankov, we got Moncherie, and we got Marco.
Looking forward to Marco.
I mean, Marco is, like, comfortably in, like, near the top of S tier, but we're not getting to him just yet.
I think he's up next. Yeah. I was gonna, argue for S tier for sure for him. So, have we actually decided where
yeah, let's
what is it?
put her right above
Heal fruit is?
Definitely A tier. You can put it at the bottom of A tier. Yes, okay, yeah. I agree with this.
So bottom of A tier?
Right above Foxy.
Right above Foxy, right, okay.
Next is Marco, who is comfortably S tier.
The real question is, how far in S tier?
That is a question, because he doesn't have any of the raw power most of the other S tiers have.
True, but he has
a lot of utility to his abilities.
He has utility. Also, he's got like a healing factor that makes him functionally immortal, more or less.
Mm-hmm.
Because even when his healing factor is even active when he's in Sea Stone cuffs.
Mm-hmm.
He's
so much as it just dampens his injuries. It doesn't like fully heal him automatically because he was still injured while he had the Sea Stone.
He was still injured, yes, but it's like basically even with it, it's hard to kill him unless you do immense damage, and he's strong enough that that's like the only, or rather, like, it's basically very, very hard to kill him, and it's his offensive power is nothing to sneeze at, right? Like, he's a freaking phoenix.
Yeah.
Not to mention, he can fly and he has those wicked talons.
Yeah, so he's a giant fire chicken.
I thought he was a pineapple.
He's a pineapple flavored fire chicken.
Just love that one gag Oda put of Marco eating a pineapple in a flashback.
Mm.
That was inspired. Gotta love cannibalism.
It would be hilarious if we end up seeing the whatever his fruit is, and it just is a pineapple.
I would laugh my ass off. But yeah, I'd say Marco is probably just below Fujitora at worst. Like
I honestly,
worst.
well, no, because like he is explicitly counters Kizaru as well.
Mm.
So he's got
A friend in you?
he's like the fruit does give you essentially, if not immunity, very high resistance to most Logias.
Mm-hmm.
So I would put him comfortably between like Kuzan and Kizaru. I actually don't know why Kuzan is like, oh right, Kuzan is higher because water.
Mm-hmm.
Right, because
He's
like
immune to the devil fruit's main weakness.
why put Eneru so high up?
Because his power complements observation hockey extremely well.
True, right.
Yeah, put Marco between Kizaru and Kuzan.
Are we sure he shouldn't be higher up?
I mean, I don't mind putting him higher up because, like, he does have the ability to affect other people, like in a positive way. So he does have that additional piece of utility.
I just don't see him putting him in the top 3 because, like, those 3 powers are kind of ridiculous in just their sheer brokenness, especially in the right hands.
Alright. Put him 4th then. For now, anyway.
Mm-hmm. I know at least one fruit that's going to go higher. Black Maria.
That's the spider one, right?
Ancient Zoan spider, yes. Giant spider from back in the day when oxygen levels were high enough to support giant bugs.
It's just like Yorogumo.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, it's hard to put her anywhere lower than A tier.
I think with Black Maria is that her actual hybrid form is not what we see in the series. She gets that hybrid form because of drugs. So it would actually normally look a lot like more normal Zoans and just have like 6 arms and a spider face in the normal hybrid form.
No, not necessarily. Because remember, we have actually seen another insect-type Zoan in Epoida, the caterpillar Zoan. And his hybrid form was similar.
Because of an SBS. Oda said so.
I know, I know. But, like, okay, fair enough. But, like, Epoida has a similar hybrid form without drugs.
Mm-hmm.
So you can understand my confusion. Because he also basically turns into a centaur-type creature. Low A tier, I'd say, because like spiders just are powerful, regardless of the situation.
I mean, part of the I'm pretty sure she also has poisonous skin.
She has poison and she has webs. Like poison and webs. Look, there's a reason Spoderman is considered one of the higher tier heroes in the non-reality warper class.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Spoder powers are good.
Bottom A tier. It's a very good Zoan type to have.
Right at the bottom of A
It's
tier?
probably more useful than turning into a murder of crows.
I don't know. He can fly with the murder of crows, and flying is nothing to sneeze at.
No, but she can web swing.
Does
I
she?
suppose. No. I
She
don't see her
doesn't.
doing
She
it.
chooses not to, but like you could. Also, I feel like we should probably put Crowboys in the not enough information tier now that we have it,
Yeah.
because it's
Or
he's
up to.
like he's like Lafitte actually. They both have their types are unclassified, and we don't really know what they do.
Hmm.
True. Next up, though, is Boa Marigold. I believe hers is the Cobra one, right?
No, she's the anaconda. Does she?
Pretty,
Hang on. It's confusing which one is which. Let
I'm
me
pretty sure the other
consult.
one.
Marigold is
Marigold is the King Cobra.
okay. Kinko, right, because she's got the venom. Okay,
Ba-dum, 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 ba-dum.
I mean snakes, right?
On a plane?
Yes. I've had it with these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane.
High B tier, I guess.
I mean, it does have venom, so that is a
And
point.
apparently, and like the hybrid form is nothing to sneeze at, right? Like
Hmm.
I'd put her above Lucci just because of the venom utility.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like most of the higher tier zones are going to end up in that range. The only zones that are going to end up much higher are probably like the giant animals like elephants and giraffes and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Where do you think in B tier though? Because
Stronger than Lucci, probably on in a vacuum.
would you put her above or below Apu?
Definitely below Apu.
Okay, yeah, that seems fair. This first kind of whack. Miss Valentine.
Wherever we put the Ton fruit, put her exactly one tier lower. Because that
So C
is
tier.
her thing.
It is actually legitimately a straight up downgrade.
Yes, so if Ton is at the bottom of B tier, then she's at the bottom of C tier.
Like it's literally just a few orders of magnitude weaker.
She did get married to Booger Bomb Man, though, and they started a cafe, so that good for them.
Hmm.
Did they get married? I thought they had just joined Miss Golden Week to open the cafe with a few other Baroque.
I'm pretty sure they got married, yeah.
I think you're thinking of two other Baroque people. I could be wrong. Oh, it's Mr. Nine and Miss Wednesday, I believe, got married.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
The fucking Chihuahua. Right below the Dachshund.
Yeah, as scary as it is, like, uh, awakened, it's like it's a Chihuahua.
The koala, I don't think would be much higher, honestly.
I don't know, koalas can frick you up.
Koalas can give you chlamydia.
No, but like they're just like are stronger than they look.
Yeah, but at the same time, like they're very small animals, and like we put the mole in D tier.
I don't know, koalas are like stronger than moles. I would say C tier. Low C tier, but definitely C tier.
Okay, we're in C tier then.
Probably below kilo fruit.
Below
Yes,
Miss
like bottom
Valentine.
of C
Yeah.
tier.
Now the rhino. Rhino's a good one.
Rhino would probably. I would put Rhino in high B.
I wouldn't put him above an elephant.
Would you?
No, I wouldn't.
Oh, okay, yeah. I would say below elephant, but definitely high B tier.
So right below Funk Freed then.
Yes.
Hmm.
Well, I don't know.
Are we really
I feel
putting
like
it
human
below
has a
the
lot of
human
potential
fruit? Yeah.
and utility. So
Yeah.
I feel like around the same level as a giraffe.
Yeah, that seems fair. Bull.
Wherever we put Dalton, right next to him.
We put
So, like,
Dalton in
high C. Yeah, so because like Dalton is bison, which is just a stronger bull. So below Dalton,
right
yeah.
below Dalton, yeah. And Zebra.
Where did all these
Zebras
fucking
are
things
interesting.
come from?
Impel Down. They're the
They're the Wardens.
They're the guards in Impel Down, the Awakened Zone guards.
I
Yeah,
don't think I've reread Impel
the
Down.
Warden beasts.
Do we have a point of comparison? Is there a horse or like
Yes, we do have the horse fruits. Pierre ate
Wait,
that.
no. Did Pierre eat the horse fruit, or was he a horse
Yep.
that ate the bird fruit?
Nope.
I forget which one.
The horse fruit.
Okay. I mean, they're like around like lower tier than bulls, but definitely like they're around the horse donkey level.
I mean, we haven't ranked Pierre yet.
Yeah, I mean they're pretty strong.
I'd say
Right,
C tier.
Yeah, C tier, definitely C tier, but like
They're strong, but they, can be taken out pretty easily.
I'd probably
Yeah, I
put
would
them
say
right above the bee lady.
You mean Hornet Lady?
Hornet lady, yes. Bzzz.
This isn't a game
Next
show,
up is
Jack.
Monet. What?
This isn't a game show.
yet. Monet.
Isn't she just Isn't she just a downgrade of
Straight
Kuzan?
downgrade to Kuzan, so like again, I think we just put her one tier lower. It still makes her pretty strong, right?
Yeah. She still probably has the weakest of the Logia fruits, honestly.
No, you're forgetting Caribou exists.
Right. Mr. No offensive
Hi,
potential
Caribou.
whatsoever.
He's got great utility, but like, no. Like, she's an A tier. She's definitely an A tier. Like, for example, I would say on the basis of like versatility and potential, she's definitely higher than the Explodey boys. I wouldn't put her higher than Hawkins, but I would definitely put her higher than the Explodey boys.
That seems reasonable. Mont d'Or is next.
Right, one of the many Charlotte siblings. What is his?
He has the book fruit, I believe.
Okay, is he the one with? Isn't the one with the book fruit Opera?
Nope. Opera is the guy with the cream fruit.
Oh my.
Damn it, Takai!
I don't remember any of these people.
It's the book fruit.
He's also the Minister of Cheese, apparently.
How
good for him.
Honestly, that's a pretty solid position to have.
It is.
Yeah.
So the book fruit is one of those pure utility fruits based on what we've seen so far.
Yes.
Yeah.
But honestly, I would say the book fruit is almost like a watered down version of the soul fruit.
Not quite. I think it's more comparable to. There's not really a strong comparison because it's not really like the soul fruit at all. It's more like storage and telekinesis.
Storage, telekinesis, like you can also use it to trap people.
Yeah.
Can he like make book things come to life or no?
No.
Okay, so he can put things in books, but he can't take things out of books.
No, not by the sounds
he
of
can take
things.
these out books if he already put them in there.
Well, you know what I mean, yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, on the basis of utility alone, he's like better than some of the B tiers. At minimum, I would put him around the same level as Bonnie.
Seems
Minimum.
reasonable. I'd say just below Bonnie.
So he can't actually summon the things, but he can use visual
use books to
illusions
fly.
of the stuff in the books.
Illusions are pretty strong if you put it like layered on top of the existing like. Yeah, I would put him pretty high up in B tier, if not low A tier. I don't think he's quite good enough for A tier, so I would put him below Bonnie. Is my vote.
I agree with that judgment.
Because it's pure utility, but like the combination of trapping and illusions is like very, very solid.
Mm-hmm.
We need more info for him.
Morgan's
Yeah,
is
we need more.
We know
Is
Morgan's
he?
is an albatross.
Oh, he's just that's confirmed. Like,
Yeah, he's an albatross.
oh, okay, yeah. Albatross like flight is good utility, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but for some reason Morgan's is unable to fly. But I think that's just the Morgan.
I feel like I feel like that's a Morgan's problem, not a Fruit problem.
Oh, it's 100% a Morgan's problem.
Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I wish more important characters were animals who ate human model fruits. I was hoping to God that Morgan's was actually just a bird who ate some variant of human fruit.
Oh, that would be funny as hell, but no, it just seems like he likes his hybrid form a lot.
Like, my favorite headcanon before Kaido's was confirmed to be the Magikarp fruit was I wanted to believe that Kaido was an actual dragon who ate the human fruit model Oni.
Yeah, I saw that theory bouncing around quite a bit.
I wish that had actually happened because we know dragons are a thing in the One Piece universe, especially in Wano.
Mm-hmm. So what would Morgan's hypothetical human fruit be? Type reporter.
Something, right? But yeah, I just it doesn't have to be a human fruit necessarily. There's a lot of mythical zone potential there. Like, of the mythical zone, human models, we've so far seen a god and Buddha. So, it seems like the human fruit has some very high ceilings with its models.
Mm-hmm.
True. Albatross, though, I'd say is a low B. Because albatrosses are known for being able to fly quite far.
They can fly quite far, and they're big, right?
Yeah.
They do have some of the largest wingspans, and they're just very large seabirds.
Yeah, I'd put them below Jabra.
All right.
They do also mate for life, so that's a positive.
That's neat.
Moria.
Okay, Moria is one of those fruits that I feel like is wasted on the user, huh?
Moria is actually fairly creative with his double fruit.
He's actually okay. Yeah. Yes, he's creative with his fruit, but I think that's the problem with this fruit. The fruit is very powerful, but it doesn't offer that many explicit buffs to the user. He can, the user can consume shadows. Honestly, I think it's in canon, it's also agreed that what screwed over Moria is the fact that he overate.
Mm-hmm.
Right? His, big form, he really should not have eaten so many shadows, because, he basically did the whole Trunks Ultra Buff thing, where he traded power for speed.
Speed for power, you mean?
Yeah, speed. Well,
he
I feel like
his speed for power.
Well, you could also say he gained power in exchange for speed. So I feel like look, the English language is complicated. Okay,
It's 3 languages in a trench coat. Let's be real.
it's a lot more than 3. I feel like if you take a user who is able to balance the amount of shadows they consume to give them, like Nightmare Luffy is a good example, right?
Hmm.
This is a fruit that does have high requirements on the user.
Well, there's also just the whole zombie thing too.
Yes, that's like just one of the weirdest parts of this fruit, honestly.
Also, the user can animate their own shadow and swap places with it.
Also, we do have to talk about the fact that if the user specializes in stealth, which is viable with this fruit, you can, like, insta-kill someone by cutting off their shadow while they're under sunlight and they don't have cover nearby. Right? Because, like, remember, as we've this is one of those paramecias that is like, it's really the embodiment of a paramecia because it's just like a grab bag of abilities thrown under one fruit basket.
Yeah.
Okay, so a pretty big major weakness that I've remembered is that the zombies are weak to salt, and they live in a world where the sea is very prevalent.
Yes, but like the zombies honestly are not what make the fruit strong.
No, they're just a side bonus.
It's like with the soul fruit, right? Like even if you don't make any personal, like non-special homies, you're still very powerful with the soul fruit. It's the same here. With the shadow fruit, even if you don't make a single zombie, you probably still have a lot of things you can do. Like I said, the rule is that if someone without a shadow is under sunlight, they just die. So if you snip someone's shadow off while they're under the sun, like as a sneak attack, they just die.
Yeah.
Because there's no way, like, it's just like, I would say this is an S tier fruit.
I don't think it's quite S tier, but I do think it's a high.
Well, why isn't it? Because, like, it has utility, it has raw offensive power, because remember, his personal shadow can be weaponized.
At the same
like, he
time,
used it, he did use it to...
I think the drawbacks of risking drawing on too many shadows and the zombies being
because you don't actually
so goddamn common.
Well, no, because you don't actually have to consume the shadows. You can just hold them. So how many shadows you consume is entirely up to you. That's an entirely personal decision, and I feel like we shouldn't put decision-making as a category here, because otherwise we'd be in for a much longer conversation.
You apparently can also separate somebody from their shadow. So apparently what happened when Doflamingo attacked Moria, which would, leave is a downside.
I still feel like this has enough raw offense and utility and not enough downsides. Like, because like the salt downside is like zombies are not the major force of this fruit, so the salt downside is like very avoidable. And like as for I would say it's on par with Law's fruit in terms of sheer versatility. Because remember, all its downsides are supplemental, right? It doesn't have the direct downsides in the way that, like, Crocodile and Blackbeard have with their fruit. Like, the most similar fruit to this is actually the soul fruit, isn't it?
I suppose it is, but the soul fruit has more versatility.
The Soul fruit has more versatility, but I still think that in terms of raw
And more
power, it's not.
It does
Yes,
have more raw power.
it does have more, but again, that just because it's like worse than one of the strongest fruits in the series doesn't make it like not S tier.
I
It does have
suppose.
it does have some advantages over the soul fruit. Like for example, you don't your target doesn't have to fear you for you to be able to take their shadow.
No, but you do need a big ass honking pair of scissors to cut off the shadow.
Well, we know that's what Moria uses, but like there's no guarantee that you have to.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That might just be a stylistic decision on Moria's part.
I'd still say below law at the very least.
Below law, I bet I will. I'm not willing to put it below S tier. I'm willing to go below law, but not below S tier.
All right.
Alright. Morley. You know what?
He's the dig. Morley is the dig person, right?
Yeah.
This is another one of those pure utility fruits that I don't know what combat applications this has. Well, it has like
push fruits. So
really?
they can hold the ground as if it were clay.
Yeah. So
And the ground seems to maintain its original weight and hardness.
So one very obvious weakness. This is a fruit dependent on the ground in a world that is mostly water.
Yeah, no.
So that is one glaring weakness.
Person can shape the ground according to their whims. And it could be anything from soft earth to hard rock to even stones like bricks.
But again, the prerequisite is that they have to be on the ground.
Yeah.
So like in naval combat, they basically have no fruit, functionally speaking, right?
I mean, I feel like this is kind of a side grade to Pika's own fruit of
Yeah, they're very similar, aren't they?
yeah.
Have we done Pika yet, or is he down the line?
Pika's
Down the
coming
line.
up.
Okay, yeah, but like, definitely Morley's fruit is one of those things that it has a lot of utility, and it does have offensive potential, but it's kind of like the downside is you have to be on land to make use of it.
Yeah, but
Does it have to be
If we're
ground, or
not
can it
going-
be any sort of earth? Because you can bring some with you.
You can bring
Yeah.
some with you, but that's like definitely not as good, right? Because like you can't affect the weight of it. You can affect the like texture, but I don't think you can affect the weight. Can you?
I mean, if you mold, a mask of earth around somebody's nose and mouth, they're still gonna fucking die.
But you do have to have direct contact, so you have to be in melee range. Like, there's no. He doesn't have telekinetic control of the Earth, does he?
I don't know. I think
All
so.
all of the uses. No, all of the uses thus far have been direct physical contact.
Hmm.
So, like, this is one of those fruits where if you don't have telekinetic control, then you're gonna have to get into melee range anyway. You can, like, take it with you. Like, you could build yourself a suit of armor, right? Out of Earth to take with you wherever you go. But I think, like, it's still gonna be limited in range. And, like, you're gonna be limited on materials if you're not on land.
Let's see.
Yes? No? Maybe?
Honestly, I still think there's at worst a B tier fruit.
No, it's still a good fruit in terms of utility. Like, we put Bello Betty pretty high on the on B tier, and she's a objectively like pure utility fruit. So it's got good utility. It's just I think it has less utility because it's limited by its material. It cannot show it cannot show its full power unless it's in the right environment. So if we had to put it somewhere, I would say we put it around around Diamond. So around Jozu.
So, did you mean Diamante?
No, around Jozu, because the person with the actual diamond fruit.
Yeah.
Which is the one just below Kaku?
Yes.
Yeah, between those two should work fine.
Who be this grumpy fucker?
This is a filler character.
Is he? Okay. I believe the next one is either a Tontada or a Charlotte sibling.
Charlotte sibling. Charlotte Nushi.
What they do. What's their fruit?
I believe it's the combined fruit. We'll look.
I had the tabs open for like Paramecia zones and Logias, but I've not at my.
Pile fruit, which is literally just combining stuff. Or rather, he can fuse with other people.
Okay, this is the third example of this fruit we've seen, of which one is filler and one is not. Because that seems very similar to both the Wapol's fruit, which is canon, and Douglas Bullett's fruit, which is filler.
Yes, this is literally just the fusion of people. The issue is like, one, you need other people to fuse with to actually get like the strength and size bonus this fruit grants. It doesn't seem like you can merge with unwilling targets.
So it's like the Funk Brother.
Yeah, honestly, I think this is an F tier.
Yeah,
It's very situational.
it's incredibly specific.
Yeah, though I do think it is better than Kelly Funk, but if only because you're not helpless when you activate the fruit.
You do have a bit more initiative, so I would put it at bottom of D tier instead of F tier. F for Funk. We should keep it as F for Funk because I don't think we're gonna have any other. Like,
I think
no,
there is one other fruit that might qualify for sure. The thing is, if we had Smiles, there would be a lot more in F tier.
but that's kind of just like the cost of doing business with the Smiles.
Yeah, no,
I
there's Smiles that would rank higher than F tier, but most of them.
I still think he's bottom D tier. Rather, I think he is better than the Funk Brothers by a big margin. Just because you have a much more initiative, and it's a bit more versatile.
What do you think, Mil?
I just want to fill out F tier. I feel like if it's at the bottom of D tier,
I think we're gonna have F tiers later on. I feel like this is has enough utility to be at the bottom of D tier.
If we get some more filling up F tier, we can move it to D tier. But until then,
yeah,
I don't know. I like the idea of having F tier as the Funk tier.
Yeah,
I disagree. Anyways, moving on to filler character.
because if there's just this guy in F tier, there's no point in having F tier. We just put him at bottom of D tier.
We'll talk about it later. Who's next?
That's filler character.
I mean, he's a chill-looking motherfucker.
Looks like he's stoned.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
And then Spider. He's a Spoderman.
Spider.
Now, here's the thing, though.
But a worse spider than Black Maria.
He's a much worse spider because he doesn't seem to have any sort of web or venom abilities. He just has the extra limbs.
That does seem quite shit. And spider limbs are not the strongest.
Honestly, I'd put him in C tier.
I can't disagree with you.
Like maybe on the level of... It's like basically makes it entirely dependent on the user. Right? Because like if it gives you extra limbs, then what do you like? All you can do is choose what you do with those limbs.
Yeah. Well, he will.
Below Hornet, one level below Hornet, I would say.
Yeah, it doesn't really grant flight-based capabilities, which is unfortunate for him. Onimaru. Arf, arf.
So he
We might
is,
wanna-
in fact, a dog who ate a human fruit, right?
Yep. I believe it's a mythical Zoan.
Yeah, he is a mythical zone who has, like... What's his fruit? Like, what model is it? It's a human fruit, definitely.
Model Onudo, aka Monk. Big Monk.
It's like a sort of mythical demon monk sort of scenario. That's, I would put it, like, solidly in A tier, honestly.
We don't really know its abilities.
Its abilities are strong enough that, like, it has the raw physical strength to contend at least a little bit with Zoro.
Mm.
And if a fruit gives you the ability to even, like, resist Zoro a little bit, it's probably in the A tier.
That is actually a fair argument.
Like, if there was a human fruit model Zoro, it would be an S tier fruit.
I can't
Like,
even
in terms, like,
I mean,
Zoro
I am
is
a
just like
Zoro
rare
fan.
levels, right? Like, he's like, as far as the One Piece crew is concerned, he is the Garp and the Roger and the Shanks of the Straw Hats.
Mm.
He is their strongest pure hockey combatant.
Mhm.
That is true.
Was
And
Zoro
based on what
injured at the time? Was that before he got injured?
Yeah, he got injured in that confrontation
Right.
because Onimaru decided to go for a sneak attack.
Yeah. No, he didn't even get injured by Onimaru, though. He got injured by Kamazo.
Killer,
AKA
yes.
Killer.
Yeah, so both of those were sneak attacks, by the way. Because once he actually got into a straight fight, he did one-shot Killer.
Yeah.
But, like, first, so Killer sneak attacked him while he was fighting Onimaru, and then Onimaru sneak attacked him while he was fighting Killer.
Uh-huh.
And he still beat both of them.
Well, he didn't beat Onimaru till later, but yeah.
So solidly in the A tier, I would say. Definitely above King. Yeah, above King. Oh, maybe one step below King, because he doesn't have the flight ability. Yeah, so between Ivankov and King.
Yeah.
I don't know about King because, like, a lot of it is more to do with King's species than it is to do with his fruit.
I mean, we've seen his ability to fly very fucking fast as a Pteranodon.
Yes,
So.
yes. So, like, it's mostly the flight ability, but that alone makes it pretty decent.
Yeah.
This is the this is Opera.
Yes, this is Opera.
This is the cream fruit.
I will say we are already an hour in, and we still got a lot to go.
This is here at best.
C tier, yeah. Just pop him. You don't have to worry about. Actually, you know what we should do? Let's stop worrying about positioning.
No.
Let's just decide the tier first, and then we'll decide the position at the end.
No, it'll be easier to decide positioning now, trust me.
I would say better than Cracker, but just barely.
No, worse than Cracker, I think.
He does have a liquid, so the fluid gives him more options than just the crackers. Fluids are more versatile than solids.
Anyways, now we have another waste of a perfectly good fruit.
Just pop him in somewhere, Mil. Yeah.
Orochi, honestly, is probably the worst devil fruit user in the series by sheer virtue of wasting one of the best possible.
I don't know. We do have the Door fruit, and we have Buggy D Clown.
Orochi
this is a very common
Zoan. He is a non-combatant.
Yeah, the Yamato no Orochi, so 8 heads, which implies 8 lives.
He straight up survives 7 decapitations.
Man, after the first like 6 or 7, they really should have tried a different method of killing him.
They did. They set him on fire.
It wasn't quite fast.
That was more of a happy accident than an actual murder attempt, though.
I mean, Hiyori was content to just let him sit in the burning mansion.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I
Alright,
would say
man.
S tier just on the sheer virtue of like it's below Kaido because it doesn't have as much utility, but
I
like
wouldn't go as
or
far to put him in S tier, but I'd say high A.
the Yamato no Orochi took a literal god to kill.
Yeah, and yet
One of the strongest warrior gods.
this Orochi went out like a fucking punk.
Yeah, but we're not basing it on the user. We're basing it on the
True,
fruit. And
but
like
the fruit doesn't inherently enhance the user to the point of compensating for any weaknesses like Orochi's.
well no, because again, I feel like you're underestimating just how shit Orochi is at everything.
Mm. I'm not
Because like
underestimating how shit he is. He is shit at everything, man.
yeah, but like just like we know that it gives you just a lot of raw strength. It gives you extra lives. It gives you just like I would say put it in S tier.
It
It's
gives you
like
extra
one
lives.
like
You get decapitated. It's not clear whether it actually let you survive, like, I don't know, a sword or gunshot to the heart.
I don't know because it's like it's just like I don't know if a thing is based on something that took a literal warrior like major deity to kill.
A major
We're getting
deity
lost in the
killed it. I
weeds
don't
here.
think it's ever been, I feel like an actual warrior probably could have done it.
I feel like we're getting lost in the weeds here, and we should just plop him in A tier and be done.
I would argue for S tier.
I'm saying A. What's your vote, Mel?
Let me think.
Because you have to assume that the physical stat buffs are on the level of Kaido.
Yeah.
Maybe lower,
No,
but
I
like
don't
definitely.
have to assume anything. Also, Kaido is a beast on his own already.
Momo's not, and he got it.
Orochi does take a lot of punishment and survive it.
Yes, he's very, very durable, even outside of the decapitation immunity.
But he still gets taken down by the injured scabbards very easily.
Again, is that a fruit thing or is
Again,
that
that's
an
an
Orochi
Orochi problem. That's not a fruit problem.
Mm-hmm.
Point is that the fruit doesn't buff up his durability enough to deal with that.
But it still takes multiple scabbards to take him down.
I think part of that's just them not caring enough about Orochi to stay around and finish him off.
We're making a lot of story assumptions, but like based on the raw data we have from the fruit, I would say it's S tier.
Where would you put it in S tier, Fuzzy?
Probably near law. I think it's got more utility. You can put it at the bottom of S tier if you want.
I'm trying to, divorce my instinctual dislike of Orochi from the fruit itself, which is hard. And the knowledge, that what Orochi did with it is not its actual capabilities because he's a fuckwit.
Yes. I still don't think it's justified putting it above Blackbeard's fruit, is the thing. Because Blackbeard has a broken-ass fruit. And I don't think Orochi
Why did we put Blackbeard
really
in A rather than S?
Because he's got like the obvious weakness of he's a glass cannon, essentially.
Right.
He can still take a fuck ton of damage. It's just
yeah, but that's Blackbeard. That's more Blackbeard than it is the fruit.
Mm-hmm.
But the fruit inherently, yes.
I still don't think I could justify putting Orochi above Blackbeard or Crocodile, because their fruits are still very versatile and very powerful.
We don't know the versatility factor of the Yamato no Orochi. It is basically
that's another thing is that all of the mythical zones tend to have powers associated with their mythical creature, and I'm pretty sure didn't the Yamato no Orochi cause floods?
Well, we didn't see any abilities.
Well,
from
again,
him
but I
besides
feel like that's an
pets.
Orochi problem, not a fruit problem.
Give me a second.
Yeah,
I feel like
But
you're
we don't
underestimating
have
the fruit
any-
because of how crappy Orochi is.
have any data outside of the
In that
extra
case,
head.
I vote we put it in not enough information. Because like there has not been a mythical zone thus far that is so weak. Every mythical zone has been obscenely powerful.
Mm.
It's
The thing with
very difficult.
Orochi is that he is just such a fucking incompetent user that there are probably capabilities of the fruit that we just don't know about.
Yeah, because like again, he seems to be the only mythical zone user without magical myth powers. And I don't think that's a fruit issue, that's an Orochi issue.
The only mythical capabilities we've seen are the extra lives, and that's it.
Yeah, and I don't think that's the limit of what it's capable of, because like mythical zones are busted for a reason.
To be fair, Fuzzy,
Well-
the Yamato no Orochi in mythology really doesn't do that much.
Was it a flood deity
No,
of some
No.
sort?
no.
That's Susano. Okay, the god
No,
who killed
Susanoo
him.
was the storm deity who killed him, but I thought he killed him to prevent flooding or something like that.
No.
He killed him because he was being an asshole.
Killed him just because he was eating some family's daughters.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, I don't feel comfortable putting the fruit in S tier just because we haven't seen any like if we put Katarina Devon in A tier, she's also mythical zone. I don't feel like it's really
We
fair to
put her in A tier
Orochi
because
in
we haven't seen enough of what she can do.
We have a pretty damn good idea. We have just as much an idea of Orochi's fruit, and he's a bumbling fuckwad.
Okay, then put him in A tier then. Whatever. Like we're running out of time at this point.
I'd say below Devon, but beyond that, yeah, still high A tier.
In hindsight, Devon should probably be in S tier.
Yamato no Orochi as a creature was more, more of a size issue than anything else, and actual powers by my reading of the myth. And it's not a long myth is part of the issue. It is literally just like Susanoo getting expelled, following a river, finding a family, them crying, "Oh, we had 8 daughters, now we got 1 because 7 of them have been eaten by this 8-headed and 8-tailed creature." And Susanoo going, "Well, if I kill it, can I have your daughter?" And then he killed it by getting it drunk.
Anyways, Charlotte Oven.
He is a... Okay, so you know what's interesting about Charlotte Oven? He is the only example in the entirety of One Piece where he is a canon fruit that is just a filler fruit.
Yeah, they made a filler heat fruit way
which
back
has the
3
exact
times
same
ago.
powers. Yeah, which has the exact same powers. And this is like apparently Oda tells the anime like they have to run filler fruit by Oda. But I guess this one just slipped through the cracks, or maybe he hadn't developed Oven by that point.
Why not both?
Yeah, because like normally they have to go to Oda and be like, "Hey, are you going to use this in canon, or can we use it in filler?" And he either says yeah or no.
Okay. Anyways, Oven. Heat fruit probably high B, low A.
It's a solid B tier because like again, it's entirely dependent on the user.
I mean, he can heat up the ocean, which is not a lot of devil fruit user can affect the ocean, which I feel like is a huge point in his favor.
It is a plus. It is a plus in his favor, but at the same time, the big benefit that Oven has is that he's just very strong. Like he's inherited Big Mom's raw physical stats. Because it is limited to melee range. Like it's limited to conduction.
No,
there's no radiation.
Yeah. Well, no, he just made heat tentacles in the ocean to take out the fishmen. You don't remember that?
Yes, but is that just? I don't know, because he did have to have direct physical contact though.
Yeah, but it's still a wide-ranging attack. Anyways, I still think he's high B, low A.
High B, definitely high B. I would say he's definitely higher than the book fruit.
Apparently, he can do it at a range because he apparently heated Peckham's gun in chapter 897, according to the wiki.
Oh, so he does have. Okay, if he has radiation based powers, definitely A tier.
Yeah,
897. Let me have a look at it.
below Hawkins.
Yeah,
No,
Hawkins has a
below
lot
Monet.
more utility, but like it definitely in the A tier.
I'd say below Monet because Monet has the benefit of being a Lugia and a powerful at that.
Monet has the benefit of being like water, a state of water.
Yeah.
Though,
I've been right below Monet in A tier.
we may have
Bill?
overestimated our capacity to finish this today.
Yeah, we've been talking too long about too many of the individual fruits. Let's make this quick. Come on.
Yeah, he definitely sets Peckham's gun on fire. So.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, below Monet.
Hey, below Monet.
Monet is what the fuck is Monet?
Monet's an A tier.
That would be why I couldn't find her.
I said A, below Monet.
I know, and I thought I was looking at A. I was looking at B. There.
Right there.
Yeah, cool.
Yep, that works. Page 1, Spinosaur. That is an easy A tier fruit.
I feel like most of the dinosaurs are going to end up in A tier just because of the raw physical stats. I feel like we can just like speed up. Yeah, just put them in A tier.
Plunk him right next to Drake.
Yes, actually, a lot of the
which dinosaur is page 1?
Page 1's a Spinosaur.
Ooh, Spinosaur did beat out T-Rex.
So, right above... Well, Drake is an Allosaur, but Allosaurs are basically smaller T-Rexes. So,
Allosaurs are worse
right
than T-Rex, so I'd say above Drake.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with you. This guy's filler.
I wouldn't have guessed.
Oh, Pekka. Pekka's was a C.
Yeah, turtles are like... he's got like defensive utility, but like...
The durability is nice, but he barely uses it, and it's not very versatile. I'd say right below the Minotaur.
Yeah, I feel like below Cow.
Yes. Hell. Falcon. Punch.
Probably high C tier just on the basis of flight. Actually, no. If we could put Morgans in B tier, then we're putting Pell above him because I'm pretty sure Falcons are stronger than albatrosses just because they're predators.
And hey,
like they're bird.
It apparently helped Pell take a fatal explosion. So
yeah,
that's more One Piece durability. Yes, that's more One Piece durability than anything to do with Falcons.
I was more poking fun at that.
Yeah, that was one of my least favorite. That's very early One Piece syndrome.
That's probably the biggest ass pull in One Piece.
Yeah.
Anyways, right above Morgan's. Perona is an A tier minimum.
Okay, no, yes, because she has a okay, yeah. Perona, I would call her a direct. I would call her a direct upgrade to Bello Betty. Because while Bello Betty can buff people and she doesn't have that utility, she can fly and she can use it offensively. So, around the same degree above Bello Betty in A tier.
Honestly, yeah. High A tier. I'd put her above.
This is Bello Betty's
right below Brûlée.
It's Bello Betty's exact position in B tier.
I put her right below Brûlée.
I don't know. I feel like you could. Okay, yeah. Just for the sake of brevity, yeah. Just put her there.
I'd rather
put her wherever.
I'd rather put her. I think Soul Fruit is better.
Yeah, I think Brook has a lot of utility beyond what Perona's got. So.
Because I think Perona's other issue is its glaring weakness of if the person is already depressed, it doesn't work.
Well, she can still blow them up though. Don't forget about her bomb ghost.
She does have explosives, yes.
She's still lost to
And again,
Usopp.
That's
yeah, but that's more of
because
Usopp's credits.
no, that's more of a piranha problem than a fruit problem.
Yeah.
It's like Sugar has one of the single most powerful fruits in the series, and she also lost to Usopp.
Yeah, we'll talk about Sugar when we get to her because she's gonna go real high.
So Candy is basically on the same level as Wax, I would say.
Yeah.
He basically
Where do we
does
put
the
Mr.
exact.
3.
Yeah, just put him right next to Mr. 3.
I would
In
put
B
it
tier,
I
yeah.
would put it a step below because you can eat candy, you can't eat wax.
That's
So
a very
below
good
Mr.
point.
3 then. Right below Mr. 3.
Right below, yeah, because I still think it's better than the weapon fruit.
Because put it this way, if Luffy had faced Candy the way he faced fucking Cracker, I think that's a fight that would have gone very
No,
similarly.
Luffy hard counters most of the Charlotte family because they have food-based fruits.
And Luffy will just eat his way through.
Yes.
Pika is very interesting. Pika we should put around the same level as Morley because they have very similar abilities where they almost have the opposite abilities because Pika is ranged but his physical stats are lower and like Morley is more direct.
Pika merges with the stone and he can influence the stone to move.
So I would say just put him right next to Morley.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit above. I'd say above. I think Pika has more utility than Morley.
Yeah, because he can just like make that giant stone statue.
And he can just like
Morley's mid B tier.
So below Kaku?
Yes, just below Kaku.
Really rating the giraffe that highly?
Have you seen a giraffe whip its neck at a predator?
I get it, but still, above manipulating stone? I don't care how strong a fucking giraffe's neck is. You get hit in the fucking head by a stone punch, you're going down.
Okay, that's fair. We'll bump Kaku down below Jozu. Anyways, Pierre.
Horse fruit. Wherever we put zebra, put it there.
Yeah, right next to the zebra.
Maybe one step above because horses tend to be a bit bigger.
Yeah.
So between
C tier.
Yeah, C tier between Daifuku and Zebra.
Next is a filler character, and then we have Pudding.
Memory manipulation. Any sort of mind control and mind manipulation is like A tier at minimum.
Mm-hmm. I'd say mid A tier, though.
It does seem like she has to get close to them, though.
It does require physical contact.
It doesn't have any.
I would say directly below Hawkins.
That seems fair.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Queen. Brachiosaur.
Queen? I mean, they're like the biggest creatures, like they're some of the biggest land animals in history, so if you don't put that in A tier, what are you gonna put in A tier? Above the other dinosaurs in A tier. Like, I would say still worse off than Beige.
Yeah. Not a lot of utility, unless you count his being able to.
No, that's not the fruit. Yeah, that's not the fruit. That's just Queen being a One Piece mad scientist.
What are you talking about? That's perfectly natural for a Brachiosaur. They always did that kind of thing. Brachiosaurs were just snakes attached to legs.
So Brachiosaurs are obviously big, but that also means they're slow, and Queen outside of his augmentations...
Durable.
Yes, they're durable, but I'm just talking about it in terms of like the other dinosaurs. I feel like...
Well, no, Brachiosaurs were never prey animals. They're like elephants. They were too big to be prey to anything else.
I'd still put him below Drake, just because Drake has claws.
Yeah, but like, Brachiosaurs are just like, they have the sheer size advantage.
I might be putting it above Drake, but I wouldn't be putting it above page 1, and this is maybe showing my, like, favoritism towards Spinosauruses, but at the very least, Spinosauruses can, semi-aquatic.
Yeah.
Brachiosaurs spend a lot of time in water, based on what we know.
Anyways, next up is Rhizo. Squirrel fruit is actually pretty powerful.
What does he do?
Squirrel fruit.
He can store things.
He can store things in scrolls and release them.
Scroll.
So
I
his
thought
bitch
you were
can-
saying squirrel.
No,
Yes, I also thought
scroll.
that.
Jesus
It's
Christ.
basically just a book fruit, right? Right?
Kind of, but it
Yeah.
lets him store attacks and other
I-
things.
I say then just put it one step above the book fruit. Because it doesn't have the illusion utility.
Remember, he redirected an attack from Kaido using the scroll fruits.
Where did we put the book fruit?
They put the book fruit in B tier. I'd say Raizo deserves to be a tier above that. And
Okay, then put him in yeah. Okay, A tier.
Yeah,
Let's take it to rare in A tier.
What the fuck is happening with your audio?
Yeah, it's gone quite bad.
Sorry, my internet has been dying recently.
Sounds less of an
Anyways,
internet issue and more of a mic issue than anything else, but
Yeah, your mic is just fuzzing way the fuck out of control. Anyways, Raizo.
yeah,
A tier.
it
Mid-eight.
seems a lot better than the book fruit looking at the description of what it can do.
It seems like a straight upgrade to the book fruit.
Yeah.
I'd say right above Beige. They have similar principles in the storage and releasing things.
Yeah, I think strings just have a lot of utility.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Filler character. Nico Robin.
It's a fruit that is entirely dependent on the user. Because it does not give you any buffs.
And
Yeah,
yet it's
but
so it seems seemingly so OP that Robin has barely had a proper fight in years.
Yeah, she hasn't really struggled with any real encounters. At all.
But
Like,
that's
just-
because Robin has the skills to back it up.
Just the ability to form hands by the crotch of your opponent puts her at a severe advantage against any male-born
It's still
opponents.
a good fruit, but I wouldn't go as far as putting it in like S or A tier.
Oh god, not S
think
tier.
it's A tier.
I would
I think
argue
it's A
it could be an A tier because it also has utility of movement, but
Yeah. Not to mention, like, you go with armament hockey and you've got a broken ass devil fruit.
imagine trying to fight when your opponent can just sprout arms on your shoulders and just start beating you the fuck up.
Yeah, or just straight up snap your fucking back in half.
Break your back and make you humble.
That is based on the premise that you have the raw physical stats to actually do that to an
It's
opponent.
not physical stats, it's leverage.
No, I mean like there's
Here's the
some
thing,
individuals in this universe who are just so durable that if you try to
Fuzzy,
break
you're-
their back, your hands will
you're-
break instead if you're not strong enough.
Arguing for very, very specific individuals rather than the average enemy.
Also, Fuzzy, Robin is not that physically strong, and yet, she has not struggled with anyone she's come up against.
Yes, but most of her opponents have been like skill-based rather than raw brute force.
Yeah, and yet she's still basically soloed Black Maria.
I mean, my point is that, you can look at a fair amount of the people in A tier and go, well, these guys would struggle against, somebody pure power based, say, like Kaido.
I don't know why you're arguing so hard against Robin's fruit, Fuzzy. It feels like a bit of a stretch. It's a very, very useful fruit and very powerful.
Again, we're not
I'd
saying
put her
we're not
above
saying
Hawkins,
S tier.
no higher. I put her around Hawkins, but no higher.
Above Hawkins seems fair.
Yeah. Again, we weren't even arguing for it to go that high in A. We were just saying A.
Yeah.
Okay, who's next?
Silence.
This is a pure utility fruit. I don't think it like
Not even
on a
very
fruit
good
level.
utility. Not
Yeah,
even good utility.
just like
I'd say bottom
sound.
of C at best.
Yeah, bottom C, high D at best.
Yeah.
Here's a
like
question.
Rocinante, so I'd say just like bottom of C.
Here's a question. Silence is, or sound is caused by waves.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is we're going. I think that is going too deep into it.
So you're not saying it's a hard counter to the Quake fruit?
No, it's not. Not to our knowledge.
No, because it can't do anything to physical attacks.
Mm-hmm. Anyways,
Also, we don't know if it actually cancels out sound or if it just cancels out people's hearing.
regardless, I think it's a bottom C tier fruit.
It's bottom C, yeah.
It's useful for stealth and such, but it's not really useful for much else.
Even in the case of stealth, it's only useful once you've already gotten in position with your target, because people will notice if there's just a patch of silence. Right? People will notice if suddenly things get too quiet.
Yeah, that is true.
Sabo. Rip in peace, Ace.
Fire fruit.
Yep.
Fire's pretty high tier. No,
Yep.
Akainu's right after, so...
Akainu goes right above.
Do we want to do
I can't
Akainu first and then Sabo?
We should do Akainu first to get a good idea of where Sabo is. Definitely S tier. Now the question is...
I'd say lower than the other admirals substantially, because it's a lot less utility-based.
Yes, I would say...
Offense.
It is a pure offense fruit in the same vein as Magellan. Now, here's the question. Where does it stand relative to Soul and Magikarp fruits?
I'd say it's substantially worse.
Does it actually
Just
give
because
So we
it
put it below Kaido.
Does it give the user any actual physical buffs?
No,
No, it's pure magma.
Then I would say below Kaido.
Yeah.
Substantially, yeah.
And regarding that, where do we put the fire fruit? Like directly below that? Because I think it's still an S tier fruit.
I'd say fire fruit should probably go substantially lower in S tier, though.
It does. It gives you flight.
I mean, it does give you propulsion of a kind, yeah.
Yeah, Ace and Sabo can
how does it deal with
is
water?
much higher.
How does it deal with water?
It can evaporate. You can create high enough temperatures to evaporate the water.
Fair enough then. Yeah, I would say because that would be my only thing stopping it from being basically top of A tier.
Yeah, directly below Akainu, I think. Because it has utility over Akainu, but Akainu hard counters it.
Man, it really sucks that I was the one person that Ace came across then, huh?
Poor Ace. Poor Mr. Donut.
Are anacondas stronger or weaker than king cobras? I would say stronger.
They're stronger, but they don't have the venom. Or at least not as strong, because king cobra's venoms can kill, if I recall correctly, whereas anacondas...
Kill an elephant.
No, anacondas don't have venom at all. They're constrictors.
I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if they had some sort of venom just to,
I mean, if an anaconda bites you, it's still gonna hurt like hell, but that's more because it has just very strong bite force.
Yeah, so...
I'd still say anaconda is B tier, but...
I would put it below king cobra just because it lacks the additional venom utility. It's got the size advantage, but it doesn't have the venom.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still better than it's got the flexibility and mobility that I don't think wolf and leopard have.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Who'd be this?
This is one of those people who...
Wolf.
Oh right, his thing is he just turns. I feel like we put him in need more information because his fruit makes him very, very, very large.
Yes.
But we don't know anything else about it. But an interesting thing about his fruit, it makes him large enough that he can wade in the ocean. So he is one of the only devil fruit users we've seen thus far who can just swim.
Repeat
Or
his
like
name for me
pseudo
again.
swim. Huh?
What was his name?
San Juan Wolf.
San Juan Wolf, right. I do not remember him.
He is one of Blackbeard's crew.
Right, that explains it. I really don't remember a lot from Impel Down.
He showed up in Marineford, but yeah, same difference. So this is the saber-toothed tiger dude, right?
No, this is the Triceratops.
I always get those two confused. I would put Triceratops like in the same, like below the Allosaur, so I would put him below Drake.
Yeah, right below Drake seems fair.
And now we've got a real biggin. Sengoku. Listen to him, for he is the heavenly Buddha.
S tier.
Like, firmly in S tier. My question is where? Because as far as we've seen, it's got major physical buffs, and it gives you the ability to just, like, shoot energy blasts and shockwaves. He did nearly solo Blackbeard's entire crew.
Yeah. I would put him below Kaido, though, just because Kaido has a lot more...
I think Kaido has more... Based on what we know, Kaido has more utility. But I don't think anywhere below that is acceptable.
Yeah, no, that's...
So, like, one step below Kaido. Because just the raw power it gives you... There's a chance it has utility that we don't know about. Because, like, you know, the Buddha... You can say that the Yamato no Orochi doesn't have a lot in the way of myths, but the Buddha, I don't think you can make that argument. He's specifically a Buddha statue, and there's all sorts of mythology, like, that they have, like, purifying auras and stuff like that.
Fuzzy. Just come on. Getting lost in the sauce.
Can I just say, before we move on, when I first saw Sengoku transform into the Buddha, I just thought he had a Buddha stand.
To be fair, that would not be a surprise.
Senor Pink.
It's very, very...
a really weak-ass fruit.
Yeah, it's a direct downgrade to Morley. Because Morley can at least manipulate the earth that he moves through.
Senor Pink can really only swim through solid
He can move through it, and he can't do anything other than that to it.
To be fair, it is a pretty good mobility advantage, but beyond
it's great for mobility and utility, but I would put it like one tier below Morley, wherever Morley is.
D tier seems fair, yeah.
It seems like a direct downgrade to Morley's fruit.
So C tier?
D tier.
I would say it's probably like better than Diamante.
Not by much.
Not by much, but he has more like he's got more range.
Next guy is Sharinguru.
What? I don't even know who this is.
He's a guy, one of the Marine captains from Endy's lobby. He has the wheel fruit, which is basically just like a downgrade of Buffalo's fruit.
So D tier.
Yeah. Buffalo is in D tier.
Oh. Oh, I think, yeah, bottom D tier, maybe even F tier.
Bottom of a D tier.
Are you sure? I really do want to fill out F.
Just put him in F tier, yeah.
And he sounds pretty shit.
Yeah, it's just like, he can turn into a wheel. It's like,
oh no.
Woot woot.
Oh god, Shiki. Shiki is canon.
Yes.
Whether or not the events of the movie are canon is up for debate, but apparently everything he does in the movie is canon. Like, his abilities in the movie is canon. He basically just has straight up telekinesis.
Yeah.
He has to make physical contact first, but otherwise he can literally,
So he's got Uraraka's quirk.
It's stronger, because he can, like, manipulate the things that float. Like, he can manipulate the way it floats. Granted, it's probably a skill-based thing, but I don't think Uraraka can turn the Earth into a giant dragon.
No, I don't think that's in her skill set. Yeah.
No, yes. So I would put Shiki firmly in S tier, maybe lower S tier, but he's got one of the most powerful fruits in the series, by far.
I'd put him right above Bluno.
Honestly, yeah.
We don't talk about Bluno.
No.
Also, I'm pretty sure Shiki's
Bluno.
probably awakened. Based on the events of the movie, I think that's just his awakening, is the ability to, like, make those earth dragons.
Entirely possible. Anyways,
What fruit?
The ripe fruit. She can make things age and rots.
Isn't it just a
Good for a cheesemaker.
Isn't it direct downgrade to Bonnie? Because Bonnie can make things go in either direction.
Well, Bonnie, I believe, it only works on living things. Shinobis can work on inanimate objects and living things.
Okay, then I would put her one step above Bonnie.
Yeah. The only thing is that it only goes in one direction.
Right, that she does. That's why I said Bonnie has a bit more utility, but she has less raw offensive power.
Yeah.
Again, great power for a cheesemaker.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably a winemaker. Well, not wine.
A farmer.
Farmer, yeah. Got a lot of utility, honestly, so yeah.
Invisibility. It doesn't do anything but make you invisible. It's good for stealth, but I believe it's like on the level of like the silence fruit, like one level higher.
Well, you can also make anything you touch invisible.
Right. So I would put it one tier above, like put it at the bottom of B tier then, just because like that additional utility of making other things invisible.
Yeah.
It's a.
Next up is the guy who broke one of Zoro's swords by rusting it.
He can make things rust. Now, didn't he also like? Can he only do metal? Didn't he also like touch Zoro's arm and start to make that rust? Or like
filler. That's anime filler.
Okay. If his entire power set is making metals rust, bottom C, high D at best.
High D. I think high D. It's a very specialized fruit.
It's incredibly specific, yes. Who this? This filler?
Diamond, who is a character from a video game. He's non-canon.
Axolotls. Adorable, not very strong, D tier.
No, it's worse, because axolotls are aquatic animals.
No, they're amphibians.
They don't function on land. No,
they're amphibians. Salamanders are amphibians.
Axolotls are not salamanders.
Well then.
They're related, but they're not. They're aquatic species. They don't do well outside of water.
Which is not
for devil fruit.
Yes, okay. Yeah. Then put her in F tier, I think.
Yeah, no, F tier.
Chihuahuas can at least like go for the jugular.
Yes. Smoker, that's an actual good one.
I would not put it. It's like it's got low offensive capabilities.
He can fly.
He can fly. So I would say put him above Crocodile, maybe, like very top of A tier. I don't think he's quite good enough for S tier.
Crocodile has more offensive utility than.
Okay. Below Blackbeard then.
Yeah, below Blackbeard.
Yeah, because like he's just yes, hello. He's kind of just lacking that oomph that a lot of Logias have. He's got a lot of utility though, right? Like, but not to the.
Yeah.
Smoothie. Smoothie is very interesting in that she is entirely utility based. Well, no, she has offensive abilities.
Yeah, she can manipulate liquid and also make herself grow.
She can make herself grow. She can drain liquid from other people. She can like shoot the liquid out. So I would say she's pretty high up there, isn't she?
Probably high B.
Pretty strong. Yeah, it's like high B, low A.
High B.
I think just the ability to like manipulate a liquid just has a lot more utility than a lot of other fruit.
I'd put her above Montdora at the worst. I got the
I would say I would put her above Monshuri,
Yeah, that seems fair.
right? Because she doesn't have as much direct but she does have like a lot of utility powers. Can't the juices she makes create buffs?
Not sure.
It
They
does
can
not
buff
appear that
her.
these juices have any special qualities beyond their taste.
Okay, well, never mind that. She can still like make herself. I think, yeah, I would say she's above Monshuri. So that's a good.
Very
Stroyson is pure
non-combat
utility.
fruit.
Does he have any combat capabilities?
No. He
can turn
literally
it.
only makes with his fruit.
Yeah, he can turn inanimate objects into food.
Again,
Hey,
a very
great
bad matchup for
charming.
Luffy. Or against Luffy. Very bad matchup.
Also, we don't know like what the limits are on that. But yes, based on what we've seen,
it works on inanimate objects. It lets a
no, but
person turn.
No, I mean like what the scale is. Like, what is the size of an inanimate object he can affect? We don't know that.
Whole cake chateau. On
Okay, so
giant fucking castle.
Okay, I would say that alone puts him in C tier rather than D tier, because like he can like make major changes to the environment, and I think that has utility.
Yeah, I'd say.
I think he's stronger than a koala. Yeah, honestly, yeah, mid C tier is fine. He's definitely stronger than Diamante.
Yeah,
he basically has similar abilities to Diamante and his. So between Diamante and Senior Pink, I think.
Sugar, who has one of the most broken fucking fruits in the series. What the
It's
hell?
like obscene.
So her fruit, in short, lets her turn people into toys, force them into contracts with her, and erase them from the memory of anyone and everyone.
Literally, if you make also, she may be immortal, like in that she doesn't age, because it does halt her aging.
Yeah. So
she ate the fruit when she was like 8 years old. She's 22 now, but she still looks the same. So it's possible she just doesn't age.
No, the fruit does halt her aging.
Yes.
Her devil fruit is fucking insane. Like, one touch and you're done.
I would say it's stronger than the soul fruit on like a sheer power level.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the soul fruit again is one of the closest.
By touch, and it does wear off if the user is knocked unconscious through any means.
But it doesn't wear off if she falls asleep.
Not if she falls asleep, but if she is knocked unconscious.
I still think that's not enough of a downside to make it lower than S tier.
Yeah.
I'm still saying S tier, I'm just saying lower in S tier.
Are we thinking better or worse?
The instant touch kind of makes it really fucking broken. Like,
the reason I say it's definitely stronger than Kaido. Definitely. Because, like, one touch and Kaido's done. Or, like, one touch and the dragon is done.
Yeah. Basically.
So between Kaido and Big Mom, then. I think Big Mom does have a bit more utility. She just has more options.
I don't know, man. The one-hit kill thing just makes it.
That's the thing.
But again, if Big Mom is knocked unconscious, the homies don't just disappear.
Yes, that's the thing. Is like it does not have that downside.
Like that is
it's got more offensive power. It's got more offensive power, but it's got less versatility.
I mean, she can transform anyone into any toy she wants, though.
So she's basically a glass cannon.
She is.
Right? Like, it's basically, she can kill anyone in one touch, but it doesn't actually give you any physical buffs. So if someone shoots you from range, like Usopp did, like, Usopp kind of hard counters her, right? Because, as long as you have the range advantage on her, that is the only way you beat someone with this fruit, is a range advantage.
Anyway, speaking of immortality, Tamago.
Right, do we know if he can, escape death, or does he just have the transformations?
I think the transformations let him escape death.
It's like basically it's one that feels like it should be a mythical Zoan or a Paramecia rather than just a straight Zoan.
Yeah, I believe it's a regular Zoan. It's a really
Which
weird
just,
one.
it's like it's a regular Zoan that really feels like it shouldn't be. It's like the weirdest Zoan in the series.
Not
But
a
like the
regular.
weird,
I think it's a
yes,
special.
of some sort. Yeah. Apparently, it also gives him significant physical buffs when he reaches his final form.
Yeah, apparently you can just avoid dying if you get hit by a strong enough attack. I mean, that's the clincher if it's a strong enough attack, because Tamago did lose an eye.
Yeah, like a fatal attack, an instantly fatal attack will bump him up to
Just bump him up to the next stage in the cycle.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's Baron Tamago, Viscount Hyoko, and Count Niwatori, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Does he have a higher form than Count Niwatori?
No.
That's his final form.
Mm-hmm. Count
Niwatori is pretty strong.
They can also be attacked and killed in the midst of the evolution process.
Right.
So
but I think overall it's like high B tier.
Yes.
I think it's definitely stronger than the vanilla like leopard or wolf.
Definitely.
Because it's got physical buffs and utility.
I put it above most of the Zoans in B, honestly.
I feel like it should be the highest Zoan in B by a comfortable margin.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like it falls short like the stuff like Bonnie or
yeah.
Or
so above Funkfried? So between Bello Betty and Funkfried.
Seems reasonable.
Also, in hindsight, I think we should probably put Chopper above.
We'll talk about that once we get to the end.
Yeah.
So, Dango Fruit.
Okay, so we did learn recently that it only lasts a month.
Yeah.
It's not a permanent, but Now, here's the question I have. Does it work on Zoans?
Only
like regular Zoans. It works in Smiles, but it doesn't. Okay,
so tried it on page 1, it didn't work.
Okay, so it's pure utility. Pure utility lasts a month. I think, on average, it's probably C tier.
No, I think it's higher than C tier. It works really well against animals of a lot of different kinds. And
it's it's a land devil fruit version of Shirahoshi's ability.
Effectively.
So, I think
I'd say low B.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Yeah.
The next two are filler characters.
So low B, where in low B?
I'd say bottom of B. Like it has very specific requirements to activate, and has and it does have a time limit for how long it works, but it's still very useful, especially given the number of really large and deadly animals in One Piece.
Is that Hiyori?
No, that's Toki. That's Toki.
Oh, right. Okay. Toki, anything with time powers is kind of busted, but the fact that she can only do forward leaps is very, very.
I mean, it would break the story otherwise.
Yeah, and she can. So here's what I'm wondering. Does she require the consent of the people she's sending forward in time? Because, theoretically, could she just send her? I don't think she could, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she just opens a portal and gestures people through. She can't,
Yeah, she can't force people. So, I think definitely B tier on the sheer, bustedness of time, inherent brokenness of time powers. But I don't know where to put her in B tier.
I'd say fairly high in B tier, only because of just sheer mind-boggling nature.
I think we just put her in like somewhere in just plop her anywhere in B tier mill, because I feel like when you talk about Toki's fruit, you need to like go very deep about the logical implications. Like, just one of the like one thing I can just say straight up: what if you jump forward in time, and then in the future, the place where you reappear is suddenly like a spike pit or a volcano? You have no way of knowing whether that'll happen. So there's a lot of risks and downsides inherent to it.
Next up is this gross motherfucker.
Oh yeah, slimy guy.
Isn't he just the booger fruit?
It's like it's like glue or something. It's like sticky stuff. Real nasty.
I would put him in the same vein as like Mr. 3 and Perospero. Right? It's the same kind of secreting and manipulating some sort of fluid. But I think below Mr. 3, because like he's got a lot less utility.
Stick fruit. That's what it is. Sticky fruit.
Below even Perospero, because I feel like Perospero can at least harden his candy and use it for attack. Like
Sparrow.
Look, whatever. They're all made up words anyway.
The whole word's made up when you think about it.
Okay, Suru's fruit, I think we need more information, because, like, she can wring people out and then cleanse their evil, but that gets us into a very complicated, subjective moral discussion on what evil is.
So it needs more information, then.
Needs more information, because we just, like, it's a fruit that in theory is very powerful, but we have no idea what the requirements, conditions are, what the, like, limits are, like... We know nothing about it. Headbutt dinosaur.
Pachycephalosaurus. I love this dinosaur. Yes. I just want to say that.
Dinosaur.
Yeah.
I fucking love it.
Are they better or worse than a Spinosaurus?
Worse. Pachycephalosauruses, I should say. It's dangerous to just shorten it.
Yes, we do not want to say that word.
Small dinosaurs. I would honestly put, as much as I love Pachycephalosauruses, just because of their sheer ability to just cause chaos by fucking headbutting the shit out of stuff, I'd say below Triceratops.
Yeah, below
yes, because like Triceratops kind of are the headbutting kings. Well, they don't so much headbutt as they use their horns to gore you.
Mm-hmm.
They are horny fellows.
Oh, but in her full beast form, she's at least as large as Spinosaurus.
That is true.
Yeah,
have we seen the full beast form of the Triceratops?
It's also about as large. They're all roughly the same size in full beast mode. Like the Triceratops is about as big as is substantially bigger than General Frankie.
998. Give me a second. I'll just get it up on the Shonen Jump app. 998.
I don't think we need to, like, we're running late as it is, so I don't think we need to go that into detail.
I just want to see it, if nothing else.
You can look at it after the stream.
I'm going to put it above Triceratops, because again, it's the only reason it would be below is size, I would say. Because the issue there is Triceratops is on 4 legs, Pachycephalosaurus is on 2. So Ulti would have use of her arms.
True.
Rouge.
So he can convert damage into strength.
Yeah. So that's a pretty heavy, like, risk-reward fruit, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It requires you to...
It requires you to have a great deal of durability.
Yeah, that's the thing. It doesn't actually give you inherent durability.
We don't actually know that much about his fruit is the issue.
Yeah, I think we put him in need more info. Because, like, we don't really know what... Like, we know it converts it into strength, but we don't know how much. We don't know how strong it makes him. He's a supernova, and all of the supernovas are pretty busted.
Yeah.
He's the only one we haven't seen in a direct confrontation so far, really.
Which is a shame,
Well, we
because I
saw
like
him-
his design. I hope he shows up
I
more.
saw him briefly in the fight against Kizaru during the latter's first appearance, but not much of him besides that.
Yeah. We just don't know
Vander-
what the limitations are.
Vanderdecken is a very, very complicated fruit to judge because it is entirely based on what the user can get their hands on and also has the prerequisite of physical contact.
Not to mention, like, if you touch anything else or anyone else with a hand in between touching your target and touching the object you're going to launch at the target, you lose the original target.
Yeah, so it's kind of like it's in a fight that may not matter as much, right?
Yeah.
But so
if you're
I
gonna
would
use it for, like, assassinations or something.
You have to be careful, but at the same time, Vanderdecken did show that it's perfectly possible to go years with the same target locked on.
Yeah, it's just difficult because he never washed that fucking hand.
Which is gross, but it's sadly realistic. With his, he's a neckbeard incel, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
He is an incel. We would have put him in the Absalom tier if he was on the villains tier list.
We've also got the fallen conscious and it stops thing.
Yeah.
There's another thing, is that the fact that he can launch any object regardless of its size or anything, theoretically, if you give this man a nuke, he could just launch a nuke at anyone from anywhere.
True. I feel like it has equal parts benefits and drawbacks.
I do think it's
in C tier.
it is very much a glass cannon sort of deal in more ways than one.
Situation because it doesn't have much in the way of utility.
Yeah, and
It
also
is literally only used for throwing things at people.
yes, there's also no benefits there's no power inherent to the fruit. The offensive power is entirely based on what you have lying around.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff you can't throw around, but it's like
so we're
it's
putting
a C tier fruit.
C tier. I would definitely put him above someone like Diamante. I feel like Diamante is the great divider.
Between good fruits and bad fruits.
In C tier, at least, yeah.
Yeah.
Who'd be this?
His is a direct downgrade to Buggy's fruit.
Yeah, like a strong downgrade. Like he's immune to blunt attacks, but that's it. And also he can't make berries that can be bounced around.
Yeah, and also the pieces are not as small as Buggy can make them, because Buggy literally got cut into millimeter thin, microscopic pieces by Mihawk and still survived.
Also, we don't know if he can control his pieces or not, but
Buggy can, but I don't know if he can. Yeah. So basically, put him in B tier, I guess.
No, that seems a bit generous.
Low B tier. I think he's got more utility than someone like Tama or Shiryu.
I guess. No, Shiryu has quite a bit of utility.
I put him above Tama then.
Viola is a very good, very useful double fruit user. Very powerful. She is basically incapable of being surprised. She has the eye fruit.
Right. She can also turn her tears into space whales.
Yeah, that's a lost in translation thing.
Space whales?
It has. I would say put this in A tier because it's got both utility and offensive capabilities.
I mean, not more than just that. She has long distance sight, X-ray vision, and basically, yeah, the whales also.
Seriously, space whales? Did I miss something?
No, she summons red hot whales from her eyes via teardrop.
Specifically, her tears turn into giant exploding whales.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Also, she was banging Duffy.
Yeah.
Hate banging.
It's not entirely clear if it was quite so consensual on her part.
Seems doubtful. So A tier?
Yeah,
Easy.
definitely firmly in A tier. I would say, where in A tier though?
Pretty
I think
high.
below Ivankov.
Yeah.
I think Ivankov's just got the raw utility. Has like the raw utility of Ivankov beats her out.
Alright.
Wappo is busted.
Wappo.
He's another buggy.
No, well, the thing with Waffles Fruit is that it got quite a bit of utility, but it has one absolutely devastating downside. The user is perpetually starving.
Yeah, that's horrible. It's like it's definitely horrible. It's like it turns you into a dread god. But also it has the utility of being able to combine things, right? Like I don't think you can like discount just how strong that combination ability is, because he created super metal just by eating random garbage.
Yeah.
So he can basically, like, it's a fruit that is limited. I would put Wapol firmly in S tier, like bottom of S tier because of the downside. But I
would not agree with the S tier. The downside bumps it to A tier at best.
Yeah, but like I feel like most people would be willing to be starving for the sheer amount of power they could get out of this.
I think you're overestimating the power of the fruit, man. Like, combining stuff is all well and good, but it doesn't have a lot in the way of like, actual offensive capabilities beyond eating
like
shit.
his yeah, and that's like pretty freaking high.
I don't agree with that. Like, being able to eat stuff is all well and good, but Luffy can do that too, and he has a different devil fruit entirely.
Well, no, but like Luffy can do that because he has the raw physical stats of Luffy. This gives you like bite force buffs.
Does it? We don't really know.
I mean, Wapol is not very strong physically, and he can basically eat anything.
Yeah, but again, it doesn't provide any other physical buffs.
Yeah. No, like, the user can eat a bunch of shit and combine shit,
Yes.
but Fuzzy, you don't get any other buffs.
You can buff yourself by eating things. He can combine things with himself. So it's very much a magical power fruit.
I wouldn't want to put it above the Yamato no Orochi. At the very least.
Yeah, I don't think it should go above Orochi.
I
think you're just overselling this one, Fuzzy. I don't think this one belongs in S tier at all.
I'm okay, but like I still think there's just some crazy stuff you can do with this fruit, similar to Blue Nose fruit.
I don't really agree. I feel like Blue Nose fruit is just a lot more busted, just because of just how powerful teleportation is as an ability.
Like, yes, you can combine things to, make them more powerful, but there's a ceiling to that, as we've very clearly seen in the One Piece universe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think
hypotheticals all you want, like.
And I don't think you could make anything that requires any actual skill. Like I don't think you could like eat the components to make a top grade sword and spit one out.
Yeah.
No, but he can make like materials that do not exist in the world.
Again,
like he can combine anything.
It would require having access to that stuff, though, is the other thing.
Well, I mean, he did build an empire off of the basis of a metal that he made by eating trash.
A small empire. One island.
I don't think it's worth putting in S tier, because as much as it has cool abilities and all, like, that downside and the lack of, like, of a particularly high ceiling for the capabilities just does not allow it to go as high as S tier.
All right, put him in A tier. Figure out where, though.
I think I know.
As I said, I don't think it beats a. Again, there's not even really much utility to it. How can he use it for transport?
Mm. He can use it for like day-to-day stuff, and he can use it for whatchamacallit. He can use it for offense, but doesn't have a lot of defensive or mobility utility. You're
Yeah.
right.
Like, even assuming it was the the optimal user, it still wouldn't really have that stuff. It could create stuff to defend you, and it could create stuff for movement. But again, you would be vulnerable during that time.
Mm-hmm.
So as I said, I would maybe around Ivankov and Viola, somewhere around there. I'm really not sure.
I put it below Viola.
Hmm.
Like the surveillance and awareness kind of trumps Wapple's utility stuff.
Whitebeard, quick.
S tier.
S tier, but like I do think in terms of raw power, it's less than some S tier fruits. Like I feel like the fruit is strong, but Whitebeard is stronger.
So I think Whitebeard and Sakazuki should be roughly the ceiling for pure damage-based fruits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he doesn't really have a lot of utility. Sorry, hang on. I'll see.
Whitebeard has apocalyptic levels of damage dealing, but like he can't do much else with the Quake fruit.
Yeah.
So above Sakazuki, but everyone else above him has like some additional utility to their fruits.
Apparently, this has the potential to destroy the entire world. So
Yeah, exactly. Apocalyptic levels of damage.
yeah. So,
I have a question though. How dependent is this fruit on the strength of the user? Like the stats of the user? Like if you give this fruit to just like a dude, can they do as much, like can they create quakes as large as Whitebeard can?
I mean, Blackbeard did
know.
pretty fucking well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
Blackbeard also has pretty high physical stats.
Yeah.
Like, remember, Blackbeard is one of the only people who has caused permanent physical damage to Shank. And that was before he had a fruit.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, Blackbeard's pretty strong
Yeah, but
as well.
the other people in that category is a fucking sea monster that Luffy one-shotted.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest plot holes in the series. Yeah.
Let's not get into that. We don't have the time to get into that.
We don't have the time or the knowledge
just
to
put
get
him
into
above
that.
Akainu then. Just put him above Akainu,
Yeah.
but like I don't think
no,
he goes any higher.
That's where he's been put. That's where he's been put.
Who is this
Agreed
dude?
on.
Who's who? I think. Yeah.
Oh, he's the Sabretooth guy.
Yeah. We missed an opportunity to do who's on first 13, and I'm sad now.
I say directly above Lucci, like one tier above Lucci.
Yeah.
Because isn't a saber-toothed tiger just a stronger leopard? Like stronger big cat in general.
Yeah. Lucci is low B tier, so I'd say, yeah, low A tier seems fair.
Low A tier seems appropriate, yeah.
Bottom of A tier or above Black Maria or what?
I think Black Maria has more utility, so bottom of A tier.
Yeah. This is a filler guy.
Yamato.
Yamato is S tier.
S tier, like on par with Kaido, honestly, because she's got they have just as much utility.
Yeah.
Because like they've got the raw physical strength boost, and they've got like freezing powers,
Yeah.
like cold flame
Yamato
nonsense.
Yamato has an Ice Wolf ability.
Yeah, so yeah, I put them like one step below Kaido because they don't have flight.
Yeah.
So they're only weaker. I think I would probably put them below Sengoku as well because I think Sengoku's got them beat out in raw power.
Miss Doublefinger.
Isn't she the spiked lady?
Yes.
It's like I would say it's like just a straight downgrade to Mr. One, right?
So yeah, low C tier then.
Yeah, because Mr. One can stab and slash. Spike Lady can only stab, and I feel like there's not really any inherent physical durability, so just like low C tier. Yeah, I think she's stronger than a Dalmatian.
Yeah.
So, do we want to stop here and just, spend the rest of the next stream discussing Luffy's fruit?
I feel like, oh God, he's made of rubber.
How
did that happen?
2-hour stream of Luffy's fruit, if I'm being honest.
Do you know what I think? I think we can stretch this to one more stream simply because we need to do a little bit more debating on positioning and just the general power level of some of the fruit. So I feel like
we're gonna go to a part fucking 3.
Look, I think we go. I don't think it'll take a whole stream, but I do think we'll need at least half an hour to an hour to finish this off, and then we can do a smaller tier list. And by smaller, I mean one that doesn't have like hundreds of entries.
So we could do the Shonen Fights one.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that would take a long time as well. We need to aim smaller, Mill.
I don't think so. I think you are overestimating how long you can talk about that and underestimating how long we've fucking talked about these.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so let's well, thank you everyone for joining us at part 2 of apparently part 3. We've turned a single tier list into a trilogy of 2-hour streams. But we are the same people who can stretch a single game of Scrabble to 2 hours. I think that's our brand now, is that we just take way longer on things than we should. What? Yeah. It's not a bad brand to have.
I mean, to be fair, Fuzzy, like, you're involved in half of those. You are the talker.
Look, I will shut up if you tell me to shut up, but no one tells me to.
We don't know how. We can't find your mute button, Fuzzy. We lost the remote. I'm sorry, but we lost the remote.
That's not true, but the issue is a lot of what you say is actually quite interesting.
Yeah.
Thank you for giving me that, at least.
So
I'm doing a bit. I'm not saying that I have any strong negative opinions about your ramblings. They are quite fun to follow.
Also, I can just easily mute you right now.
Yes, he could. So what you're saying is it's Mill's fault.
Yes, it is Mill's fault.
I said I find the tangents interesting. For the most
that's
part.
why I bring them up.
For the most part, sometimes it's.
I'm not knocking the tangents.
Sometimes we do talk about existential dread, and that's like maybe we can tone that down a little bit.
Also, all the sex stuff, that could be toned down a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Not entirely, because I still say our succubus gender studies discussion is one of our best.
It is a very interesting topic.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, thank you everyone for joining us as we ramble our way through One Piece. Next time, we're discussing someone who's made of rubber and how that happened.
Well, that's the next Devil Fruit tier list stream, which no idea when that's gonna happen. Maybe next week, maybe next Thursday.
It's gonna happen when we don't have anything better to do, essentially.
So
Yeah,
probably
also,
next
the
Thursday.
next Devil Fruit stream, we're gonna have a massive spoiler warning slapped on it, so just be aware of
Yeah,
that.
we should probably just like paste a giant ass spoiler warning on the screen at the end,
I
like at the
will.
beginning of that stream.
I will. I'll start it
Yeah.
on a big spoiler warning thing.
Yep. And just have spoilers in the title of the stream.
Yeah. Yeah, so in terms of other future stuff, Saturday, Paradox Hour, do's and don'ts of LGBTQIA plus rep. That'll be an interesting one. Sunday, more D&D. Tuesday, no fucking clue. Maybe Persona 4 Golden, maybe Road 96, maybe something
Well, I don't
entirely
know either of
different.
those.
Who the fuck knows? I certainly don't. Which is bad considering I'm the one who appears most regularly on Tuesdays. And then next Thursday, let's tentatively say part 3 and then another tier list. Tentatively.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Tentatively, is
Definitely.
We'll see what happens in the general sense of, the coming week. But otherwise, as always, thank you all for watching. Please do give us a follow here on Twitch and on Twitter at storytime_net. And otherwise, we hope to see you on Saturday for the do's and don'ts of LGBTQIA plus rep, the third of our Pride Month lineup. Good night.
Later.
bye.